Hello and welcome. Welcome to Dragon Memoria. Yay! For those of you wondering what this is, well, it's Dungeons and Dragons, or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. Tonight, maybe 4 people in a picture. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Audience said that he would either be there or not because he's in transit right now. So, who knows? So, if this is not something you want to watch, this wonderful group playing Dungeons and Dragons, well, if you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube, you're in luck. They give suggestions. We strongly recommend that you pick one, so we won't need to pick on you while you get bored and say something inappropriate in our chat. For everyone else who actually wants to be here, because they enjoy Dungeons and Dragons, they enjoy watching people play Dungeons and Dragons, they enjoy watching us, or maybe you're just an alien who wants to learn more about what people do Wednesday night. No matter the reason, it's a pleasure to have you with us. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, coming back from previous session, welcome back. And that's about all the publicity we can actually do, because it's still a small channel. After nearly 3 years, it's still a small channel. Yeah, that's about everything we can say. Just so we don't get sued, thunderstorm in the background, ambient mixer. You can make your own ambience. It only costs you something if you download when you download them. Everything else is supposed to be royalty free. Although I would be careful if you're adding music stuff in their database. But so far for nature sound, I haven't had any problems. For battle map, it's Dungeon Alchemist, and for world map, it's Wonderdref. Yay! Publicity done. And that's about everything we can say. So, unless someone wants to be the unofficial sponsor.
Brought to you by the moon.
Interesting. Bold choice.
Brought to you by microphone volume issues.
Yay! It's better than a few minutes ago.
Also brought to you by the sun, direct competitor to the moon.
Good, but not great, because I have no idea why it's different. So.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's all good sponsors, and it's a really smooth way of making a sound check.
Where can I get microphone volume issues?
Oh, that's
easy. Do you want them?
You can get them at any bad store selling audio devices. Yeah. As for the sponsor of the sun, well, are you sure you want us to be sponsored by the sun? Because right now where we are, there's not a lot of sun. There's not a lot of moon either.
Well, you see, the best time to start advertising yourself is at the times when you're least active.
Right. That way no one knows you're actually being sponsored, and you can make them pay for it. That's brilliant. Right. So, apparently we're not going to get audience.
No.
Meaning, one of you, I hope, would at least roleplay him.
No, never.
Or blimey, I'm audience.
Blimey.
Man, audience is making like 10, 20 strength-based checks this session.
Everything he
crazy.
does, it's always a new strength roll. Alright. So, what happened last episode? The party took a few moments to recover from their latest heroic deed. While they were setting up camp, the party decided to free the prisoner they stole from the train they saved. It's the easiest way to say it. After removing the restraint on the prisoner, our heroes realized the restraint had more than one purpose. Their prisoner started to change back into its original state, which was an Aftan. Those creatures who seem to be somewhere between a dragonborn and a moth. I know some of you don't like moth, but I do. After recovering from the shock, the party tried to convince the freed prisoner to aid them in their endeavor. Unfortunately, both parties' interests did not directly converge, and common ground needed to be found. After a long negotiation, our party managed to earn a shortcut in their travel in exchange for information. Should they ever manage to leave the island chain and come back. And now it feels like someone is rubbing their microphone. And good, it stopped. I guess we're gonna have sound issues the entire episode. Oh dear. Alright. So, I believe the only thing missing from that resume was that recap was that the group managed to make its way to the nearest point on the railroad where they were able to board a train. And one detail that I forgot last episode is that Remy was not the only one who could use Phantom Steed because it's a ritual. And Sachet can use rituals. So instead of spending 20 minutes every hour, there were two of you doing this.
I mean, I was thinking it in the back of my head, but the fact that she didn't bring it up made me think like, oh, this must be one she doesn't have.
No, she has nearly every single ritual. I completely forgot that it was a ritual. That's why I didn't bring it up.
I mean, like, that honestly should have been your first clue if, like, Raimi was the one casting it.
No, absolutely. It just didn't register. Okay. I was thinking about it during the weekend, and oh, that's right. Oh, definitely, it would have been half an hour faster. But in the grand scheme of things, it wouldn't have hastened things a whole lot. Half an hour. So, you just...
Well, we had to cast it, like, multiple times over our travel period.
I think you had to cast it 3 times? 4 times? Hold on. So basically it's 1, 2, 3 hour, 4, 5, 6. No, that's 10 miles an hour. Sorry. So
or 13 if they're dashing, which, you know.
4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's exactly. So you cast it at exactly 4 times. And at the end of the 4th time, you arrived. So you saved 40 minutes, which in the grand scheme of things did not change a whole lot because Well, you still had to wait until the train station opened, so you just had to wait for 30 more minutes.
Well, there is the off chance that we would arrive and the train had just left.
Yeah,
true.
yeah, no, absolutely.
Didn't we
no.
wait the 30 minutes? We're already on the train, right?
Yes, you just.
Oh, we are.
Okay.
We're just discussing what we're going to call hindsight.
Yeah. You remember it, and I think Sachet casted a spell, didn't she? Yeah, she ritual
He's a
casted
great
the spell.
superhero.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you find yourself on the train, making its way to the process of this island. And all right. So, as you find yourself on this train, very early in the morning, it's going to take. Oh yeah, and by the way, each one of you need to deduce 2 copper. That's your train ticket.
Tobiyashi, do we have to pay for you? Or
Yes.
I don't remember if you found copper at some point.
No. I can pay for myself. Sorry, I zoned out for a second. I don't. I have to wait till tomorrow to get my medication. Yeah. How much copper?
2 copper.
2 copper. Okay.
I'm just remembering the last time we paid, had to pay for a ticket, just
No, I got it. I just let you guys pay for that one. You guys are offering. I'm not gonna.
Absolutely. They're supposed to be your friends. All right. So, as you are...
These friends come with many benefits.
Yeah, they don't say anything when you kill someone. By
They
accident.
said a lot, so
I was like, wait, we mentioned it a lot.
I think they said a lot about it. Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, but it didn't...
I'm pretty sure it was the topic of multiple conversations.
Yeah, no, I know. But they didn't hold it against you. They just mentioned it,
That's true. Yeah.
They didn't make you
Yeah,
suffer
there's nothing
much.
There's nothing nothing says over it like bringing it up again and again.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, as you're on this train, and the train ride is going to last just a little under 2 hours. So, you have a little moment where it's very early in the morning, and it's literally the first train of the day. Quite a few people everywhere on the train, but since you were among the first ones to arrive, you do manage to find an isolated booth, and since you are in total 6 people, well, 5 people in a picture, you manage to take the entire booth to yourself. So get in, close the door, and find yourself pondering the fact that you are going to be tired in not too long. Maybe another 4 or 5 hours, and you're going to start feeling the fact that you slept through the day and rode through the night.
Not again.
Yeah. You're all going to be dephased. Sachet is looking at all of you one after the other, and she does have a moment where you all look like you really need to rest properly. I know I know it's a bit rough. Especially I've heard since the sun has a bit of an addictive effect on people. Probably a little bit strange to change your daily schedule like this.
The sun is my anti-drug.
But don't worry. Once we'll arrive, you'll be able to spend at least a day in library. I don't know if you'll actually be able to make a new friend in this, but I'm pretty sure he's going to let you at least spend a night there. If you really need to, you can probably reset your daily schedule while you're there. Maybe you should also plan for what's to come. Because, well, he is a bit better at keeping the library. He doesn't have the ability to conjure up quite a few helpers. So his library is a little more lively than mine, but still pretty much out of the way. So
Lively and the helpers are also there, or that
oh,
Who are really fighting and
Fisher, your voice it's breaking.
Your voice box is going out. I think you need to go to repair.
You've been severely damaged in your last fight.
I had to update while we were sleeping and it didn't work well.
Oh, that's why. That's what happened.
is
How about now?
your
That's a
There you
little.
go.
It's better. It's better. At least we can understand you now.
Literally,
Oh,
it's
it's
just
better.
switching it back and forth, and now it's back to being bad again.
No,
Nope.
that's good. It's good.
Oh, it's
Now I
back.
can hear you.
It's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
is it what's his face trying to install a
How about now?
voice system for himself?
Is it worse again?
No.
No?
It's good. We
Okay.
can hear you. It's slightly lower, but not enough to be inconvenient.
What?
Is Terraned trying to install his own voice box?
It is.
Taranad is patching you.
So confused.
Just wait until he installs the third set of speakers, where now all your thoughts are out loud.
Oh shit.
Only yours. All right. So, what were you saying?
That's a good question. What was I saying?
No, that's good. That's good.
Is his library more lively just because of the additional help he summons, or do people actually?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm pretty sure no one visits his library either. You have to understand that literature is mostly restrained right now. The wizard knows the danger of learning stuff and finding things lost in books. It is a wizard after all. And he's been around for longer than a wizard should be. Just like mine, his library is nestled in a corner of the process. He is a bit more nimble with magic than I am, so it's also better hidden. Really looks like an abandoned building. But he can also put some sort of perception filter, which just makes you want to keep going, not stop, have this lingering feeling of, oh, it's an abandoned building.
That's nice.
I think your volume drops every time we hear one of those scratching sound from I don't know what part of your microphone.
Maybe is your
Can you boost it
cord
in
wire
sound settings?
fraying?
Well, so I
Well, at least
What?
your sound is not just stopping. It's just going down and then back.
quieter. Yeah, because I got a new. The way my computer is set up, I need to do audio and mic, like my headset, through USB.
Okay.
And my old USB to, and my headset is on a 3.5 jack. So I had a old adapter, and when I was using it recently, it started like it would like crackle and cut out, and like the volume would change drastically, like my computer volume would change drastically at random. So I replaced it, and I thought that fixed everything because my volume was fine, but I guess it did.
Probably there's something inside. Maybe a wire.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's every time we hear that scratching in the audio, your voice just drops a whole lot. Then you just change something and your voice comes back.
That is weird and annoying.
Yeah.
I'll lean over to Jorg and be like, Fisher's been talking to himself a lot lately, hasn't he?
Yeah, what's he talking about? Volume?
A USB? What is that?
It
don't know.
must be. It must be specifically for
Arcane
kind.
speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't work.
What was that?
I'm changing what USB port I plug it into.
Well, we can hear a little bit of background echo, but your voice comes in loud and clear.
Yeah, maybe you should just use your
Just use your webcam mic. We could
Webcam
deal with
mic.
the echo.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
I'll just if I scream loud enough you can probably hear it too.
Hey!
Alright, so. Say something, Fisher, so we know you're still alive.
Alright, can't hear you.
Something Fisher so we know that you're still alive.
No, we could just hear like the crungling.
Fuck,
of
I
the
guess,
back-
okay.
There
I'll
it is.
well, now it's just the mic on my headset straight up doesn't work, so I guess we're stuck with the webcam.
Alright, well, at least we can hear
Alright.
you good.
So, so what's the plan? So are we going straight there? We're going straight to the place of knowledge as soon as we get there, right?
Well, that's really up to
Yeah.
you.
I don't think we have a reason or need to go anywhere else. We are kind of on a clock, so.
Yeah.
Well, that shortcut that we just got helped us a little bit. We're still within our first 24 hours of the time we have. We still have 6 days. Maybe we just started the 6th day. Hold on, there was 8 hour, then another 8 hour. Yeah, yes. we still have 6 days before every security sentinel, enforcer in front of cities and train stations.
And weirdly, forests.
A few planes in the middle of the water. So we still have 6 days. It gives you a little bit of time to prepare. We'll need an additional. You see, you're squinting your eyes and looking at the map, trying to figure
It's
out.
on the pair of glasses we've never seen her pull out before.
Gives her a very intellectual look, small, round.
Just really going for that sexy librarian vibe.
I have no clue who just wrote something in the chat because for some reason they picked the color of the person writing the exact same color as the background.
It is.
That is a cool choice.
It looks like a flare. Oh yeah, it is the background, huh?
Oh, it's Wonderlust RPG.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's white
good,
for
nice. All right.
Yeah, I have it in dark mode, so I can see it.
Yeah, it's the
We
same.
raid them on Friday. They're the ones we raided last Friday.
Welcome.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So she looks at the She looks at the small map. No problem. 76 miles. Still a good 3 to 4 hours of train when we leave the station. So you mostly probably are going to have 5 days to figure all of this out. Your next step, if you need to buy anything, if you want to prepare something, and also, what are you going to do? Do you believe Siv said that you should try and steal either a maintenance cart or a locomotive? Preferably a locomotive, because you wouldn't need to find one in Mid-Sal. But
And that's the place with all the zombies, right?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think
so. We either
I think
find
we
one or steal one. That's our options here, right?
yeah, I think we should go straight to the library just because that's where, like, we may need to do other stuff in the process, but I feel like we're gonna want to figure stuff out at the library first.
Yeah. At least as much as we can.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't know if he's going to help you, but I'm confident he's at least going to give you shelter while you're there. He has no admiration for the wizard, so you don't have to worry about that. I'd probably mention that you're doing this to hinder the wizard in some way.
Mm-hmm. Any other tips you can give us about him? Might help us change his mind.
Well, if it were any other group, I'd say he has a very special way of talking, but I get the feeling you're slightly used to this type of conversation, and she looks at Remy when she says this.
Oh, right.
What's up, a hand?
He's
Hello.
Like I said, he was raised in a zoo, so some of his vocabulary and mannerism have been copied from animals. And he has a few interesting way of putting things. Don't be put off by the different voices he's going to use. In zoos, there are a lot of disgruntled workers. Very how shall I put this? Ungratifying jobs. So he has a little bit of a rough way of presenting things. And occasionally he screams like a baboon.
Who doesn't?
I know.
Reminds me of my. No, I'm kidding. Never mind. I don't like the joke.
Well, it depends on who you were referring to. So, yeah. But I get the feeling that you have a little bit of experience with this unconventional way of talking. Maybe it's going to be playing in your favor. We'll see. Just keep very
Maybe
open
just
mind.
flash cuts his memory, like the last several months, where there's like the uptick in understandability has only slightly increased.
I was like, we have a lot of experience trying to understand Remy. We're still not very good at it.
Well, just keep an open mind.
Well, audience is great at it.
Yeah, he's kind of okay.
Yeah, well, he seems to be a little out of it right now. I think that the last fight took a little bit out of him. He seems to be a bit distracted.
He does.
Yeah. He seems to be being as calm as an image.
We cut to audience's brain, and he's just like playing in his mind over and over the last combat, specifically the things he was seeing Civ do. It's just like, I could have done that. I could have done that. Could have done that too.
No, I also want to have a reference to Earthworm Jim. You all look at audience and we see the brains in his mind, and Earthworm Jim has 4 brains. The first one is, I'm cold, I'm itchy, I'm hungry. Girls? And a great moment of danger when Peter Puppy explains why his antimatter gun is shrinking the wormhole. You see all the brains in his head go, huh? Girls? It also feels like audience. Alright. Well, audience does seem a little out of it, but I'd say he would probably agree with everyone that it's probably very important that you all do your best, and sometimes it's not obvious understanding Remy, but he's gonna do his best.
All right, writing it down. Make a big scene. Don't stay quiet.
Well,
I'll
good thing that,
stop.
All right, George,
yes.
just remember. Especially because it sounds like he was brought up in a zoo.
Hmm.
No bird references.
Nope. I will not.
What if
I've,
it's like
I've
a
learned
funny
my.
example?
I mean, you'd think I'd learn my lesson.
Flash cut to Raimi in his corner, just like like making one of his daggers like slip out of his bracer and then into the other one.
And maybe sensitive subject. Avoid talking about flight and about the fact that he walks funny. Just putting it out there.
Does he walk then?
Because of a leg injury
Ah.
from before he was here. So. But he can reach you from where he is. He really is quite nimble with arcane things. So, with all of this said, I think we have a few moments to rest up before we arrive at the process. If there is anything you feel like you should prepare, although it was very easy to enter.
What should I do with this orb? I don't feel safe keeping it on me.
Which one? Which orb are you showing?
The small one that they gave me on the train.
Oh. Give me a moment. Can I see it?
Yeah, here you go.
She looks
I'll
at
hand it
it
over
for
to
a
her.
moment. Well, there's nothing very elaborate about it. I see a little bit of illusory magic on it. I guess it could be used to track you from a distance, but other than
That's what I was thinking.
it's not an obvious tracking device. It's
Right. So I'm thinking once we get there, I sneak it on to somebody. So they think we're still there.
Oh, there does seem to be a 20% discount on your next purchase at Quiznos.
I mean, hey, I might just keep it then. Quiznos? Why not?
Hey, see that there's a free half a dozen donut at the next Krispy Kreme.
There's fine print. It's on a purchase of $75 or more.
Oh God, who's paying $75 worth
Oh,
of
Quiznos.
donuts?
That is just the first number I thought of.
Well, I've known people who would, mostly companies, but not individual.
It's like I'm just trying to picture what $75 worth of donuts would be, American dollars, if you'll.
Damn.
permit me here.
All right. So I'll get rid of it inside the city somehow.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's harmless. I think the illusion is mostly when you look inside of it, you can see there's sort of an illusion of your face on it.
Yeah.
A little bit of writing.
yeah.
It's just so that you know. But hey, any magical device that has been made by someone can also be used by the same person to scry on you in some way.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, I'd probably get rid of it.
You can do that
That's-
with
I
any
probably-
magical device.
But should I just throw it at the train window, or should I do it in the city so it seems like we're still there if they are trying to scry on us?
Well, that's really up to you. I don't think they're going to mind too much if you just even leave it in the train, because the warning has been given. It's mostly used for you, for a reminder for
Right.
you to...
Okay. All right, I'll leave it on the train. Oh, just in case. I don't feel comfortable. We had an orb problem before.
Wait, a reminder for him to what?
To go at the end of the week. That's why we have a week.
I thought that was for audience.
Yeah, that's
I have
mostly
to put
audience, but
Yeah, I thought it was your silk too.
Well, no, it was to get audience purged of the thing inside of him, and also I had to take him there because they think he is a child on the inside.
And what they
Or,
wanted
yeah.
to do was to evaluate what is it you have, but you're a low
Yeah.
priority. It's just that you have something that is unknown to them.
Yeah. That too.
Okay.
So in other words, he needs to be cataloged.
Yeah, just hook it on the top of the train.
Okay.
I will go ahead and state since as she would know this too, but regardless, they'd be able to use that object to scry on Toby, whether it's on him or whether it's not on his person.
What?
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Oh, it's just that if you have one of the conditions for using the scry spell specifically, one of the things you can use to make the save easier or harder is to have an object or a garment of the person you're trying to scry on. And this thing's been on Tobiyashi long enough to be considered one of his possessions.
Ah.
Oh damn.
Well, then they would have to have it. Like,
Yeah, they'd have to
I'm
find
just
it.
saying, regardless, they're going to be able to scry on him just through a different method.
yeah.
Yikes.
All right, I'll throw it off the train. Just right out the window. All right, I'll be meditating until we get there.
How many hours did you say?
I'll give
Four,
you a
right?
silver piece if you can hit that bush.
All right, I'll try it. Let's try to hit it. Straight roll. And 11.
Did you hit it?
It's a bush going at a very fast. You can add your dexterity modifier for this.
Okay, dexterity modifier.
Ow!
14.
14. Alright. Because it's a bush. Yeah. If it had been a tree, it would have been harder, but because it's a bush, look at it and I'm sure I hit it. I'm sure I hit it.
Alright,
I hit it.
I'll give him the silver piece.
Let's go. All right.
Well, that's good, Tobiyashi. Now you'll be able to pay for your ticket.
Yeah, I paid for my last one. What are you talking about?
Alright, so take a moment to rest, and I guess we'll be arriving in roughly an hour and a half. Yeah.
No, I have to do that in the morning, don't I?
What?
Change the skill that Terranad is assisting with.
It would be after a long rest. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be a good idea to take her up on her offer to recenter your normal schedule.
Yeah. It won't be until later.
So,
Alright.
the train keeps on going, and contrary to the last episode, where for some reason the autocorrect decided to translate gentle sway with genital sway of the train, you are lulled into a sense of security. As
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel secure no matter which it is.
It's an old train.
yeah. Well, from your perspective, it's pretty impressive technology.
They start to hang low and like it's that old.
And you have a small understanding of what locomotive are. You did take a few moments to learn about schematics, and you know there are a few things you start to understand. You notice also there's some similarity between the train engine and the engine absorbing the mist, providing power to the spire, the wizard's tower.
Have we seen one of those?
No, but you know they exist.
Oh,
It's
okay.
what was damaged on Mid-Sal. Just like your Naftan friend said last episode, it's the perfect cycle of protection. The generator pulls in the mist to steal the latent arcane energy in it, powers itself. Because it does this, it reduces the quantity of mist all around, and so also the number of undead damage it, and suddenly the mist become more prominent, and there are more undeads. So if you want to destroy it, you're also condemning yourself to fight your way out of a zombie nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't attack it, if you don't damage it in some way, then the spire is fully charged and ready to repel a considerable amount of siege machines. Perfect self-protection for an engine. You recognize that the train probably works on a very similar principle, although to a much smaller scale. And with what you've learned of this train, of the engine, you realize that there's a lot of things that depends on this mist throughout the islands. Sichet did mention at one point that the lights were fueled by the mist. The trains, flying machines. You know that krill can convert the mist into energy. There are those engines that gives more power to the spire. It's a very widely used source of energy. Very abundant. Maybe not the best choice in hindsight, but a very powerful choice.
All right.
Do you think you could suck up the air like that for sure?
I mean, I haven't tried, but I don't think so, because it seems like, I mean, Civ can use the power of the mist, but that's only because he has Krill Krill's the one actually doing it. I don't have a Krill.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
He says pointedly out loud, I only have a Terranad.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron, you might want to think of a replacement.
Why can't Terranad be like Krill? Krill looks badass.
Because I didn't ask for a Krill.
Yeah, you didn't ask.
To be fair, I didn't know that a Krill was possible. But...
And also, most of the story happens outside of the Misty Isles. So
yeah.
That would have been kind of disappointing to have something that fuel.
Yeah, we just got to take a whole bunch with us back. Put them in jars.
Yeah. Or just
I
take
have
the
the
wizard.
I have the
with us.
ability to bend space and warp time, but only on Tuesday in Australia during the
full
year
moon.
2014.
During the second full moon of the month. Right. Although, in your world, because there are two moons, maybe a more common than one would realize. Alright. So, time goes by, and the light outside increases just a little bit. Enough to feel like, oh yeah, it's day.
Hmm.
Doesn't quite feel like the day, but you know, that's okay. Always a reminder of what everyone here is living through. That idea of being thrown into a pit where you'll never see the light of day again has never felt more real while you're in here. Every time you dream and there's the sun, you can't help but to feel this comfort of knowing that you at least remember what the sun feels like and what it looks like. After 2 hours, the train starts slowing down. Looking through the window, you can start seeing this large, very large city with many districts inside. And you recognize the shadow of these large manta ray floating in the sky, which you know are large craft. These one, however, are actually made for combat, not like the fishing barge that attacked the train a day ago. They would probably have a very hard time doing significant damage to one of those manta ray. From your experience, whenever someone asks for reinforcement, there's always at least one an hour away at most. So there are quite a lot of those traveling everywhere, watching everything. The moment where you need to leave the train draws near.
You're back.
Right. The more it feels like security has been increased. You see more rounds from the Mill E's walking inside of the train. Checking everyone, checking for tickets, making sure everyone corresponds to their tickets. But even so, it feels like they're being very complacent for an island in which security is supposed to be the strongest. Feels pretty similar to Losal, the island where security was supposed to be as its lowest. I mean, they do make more rounds, but no magic is being used to see if you have illusions on yourself, or trying to figure out why is it that the moment someone enters this room and use detect magic, they're suddenly blinded by the raw quantity of magical object inside of this room. When this comes into your mind, especially you, Remy, you sort of have this moment of, oh yeah, we must be really annoying for Sachet whenever she uses her eyes properly and look in the direction of the entire group. And, so yeah, magical object.
Man, Remy's lantern is really bright.
So, slowly, the train comes to a near halt, going at a few 2 or 3 miles an hour. Goes up the rail, above the wall, and slowly comes to a stop near the center of this huge process. It's, for those of you who missed the different vocabulary, they call the capital cities process because it used to be where people were processed thousands of years ago. It's even bigger than the previous one. And looks slightly more ominous. Get the feeling that, right, worst prisoners were, the worst of the worst in prisoners were processed here and imprisoned here.
If you listen closely, you can still hear the voices of the men who were asked to squat down and cough.
The spell grease was used on every soap. Train stops completely, and everyone starts leaving. You hear people talking. It mostly feel like normal talk. People complaining about their work and complaining about the fact that they're going to be going back to this shop, and their boss still doesn't understand the fact that they can actually read and count. You know, they can do more than just take things out of the back store and put it in the front store. They can actually interact with, and so on and so on. Some people like what they're doing. They're pretty happy to be coming from this normal point into this really large city with a lot of activity. Some people just keep complaining about how security is tight here. And, they were living in Lo Sal 2 or 3 years ago, and my goodness, everything is so much more relaxed there. You can feel people are more relaxed, have a greater joie de vivre. You hear that, and you remember how people were in the last process. Wow, alright, so that's joie de vivre for them. Okay.
Now they're just all complaining about petty things like the barista misspelling their name.
Yeah.
So, time comes to leave the train. You gather yourselves up, take all of your luggage. Well,
It's all carry on.
I was gonna just put your backpack back on your back. So. Or put it all in audience's dimensional storage. Alright. You leave your booth. You notice right at the exit of this train station there are a fair numbers of Mill E's waiting. Looking at everyone as they're crossing the... Oh, Valenby! Yay!
Hey!
Resubscribe!
He's finally here. Sheesh.
Yeah, no.
He's too busy playing Sims.
Yeah. I don't know what's... Oh, okay, it's the message under it. Okay. The message under it was weird. Maybe there's an odd thing that I'll have to see in Streamlab. Felt like the message was repeating itself. That and raids. Into Sims. Oh. Hey! Are you scared about something?
Always.
That's a good thing, man. So, right there, when comes time to leave the train, Millies are watching all of you leave. You do recognize in the background one Civ E manning everything, looking at the reaction of these Mill E's and sometime giving a different order. You know you can take on one Civ E, not without drawing a lot of attention, but you know it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So once
The
again,
attention.
audience ask Sachet to cover his face. As he arrives near the gate, they look at him attentively at his face. One of them nearly has a reflex of going to touch his face, but the moment he is about to touch audience's face, you hear sound and they look toward that sound. Someone else is trying to not draw attention by drawing too much attention, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the Millie.
Oh, what's Toby doing this time?
I'm just like, everyone turns over to me. I'm like, it's not me, guys.
Yeah.
What?
It wasn't me, I swear.
Not this time.
The Millie look at the audience and tells them to keep moving. So now I've played audience. What about the rest of you?
We're just getting off the train now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll start to head off the train, I guess. Just start walking.
Mhm. I'll look as inconspicuous as possible.
Yeah. So, notice they're looking at.
Oh,
Yes.
since I don't know if like Jorg the player would think to do this, but upon recovering your illegal drugs, did you maybe perhaps put them in
I
a
did put
place
them
where they
in-
couldn't be?
Yeah, I put them in the dimensional storage.
Just gonna state
Good.
that out loud, just to
Yeah,
make sure it happened.
Good,
yeah, I
good
meant to
looking
say
at
it last episode, but
Oh, it's always important to not underestimate the this element of making sure that it was heard by the dungeon master. Otherwise,
yeah.
although there's sometimes it can make some for interesting interaction. Someone did ask one of my character at one point, can I borrow a sword? And I had completely forgotten that he had extra swords in his backpack. And what sword? The player looks at me. Deception. Come on. What do you mean? You have 5 swords in your back. I do? And I look at yeah, the swords are probably all.
No, you see, that's just a very common player thing. Just like the minute that something enters your inventory, it might as well not exist. Like just people casually forgetting that they started the game with 10 torches and never found a use for them.
Even though they've
Mostly
been
because
in,
they forget they're even there.
even though they've been in dark dungeons. All right, so look at you, Tobiashi, for a moment. Look at a small orb. Look at you again. Move along.
Walk past.
Look at everyone. Yeah, I did it.
Let's go.
Immediately gets run over by a random cart.
Where'd the train track come from?
No, it was a cabbage cart.
My cabbages!
One day I might do Avatar campaign because I've been looking into buying the rule book for doing RPGs of this. You might get the return of the cabbage. All right, who's next?
Jordan can go next.
All right.
I'll
Looks at you for a moment, up and down. Looks through a small sphere. Takes a moment again. Move along.
don't sigh openly because that would look suspicious. But I feel relaxed now.
Next one, Fisher or Remy?
I'll go.
Alright. You arrive in front of this Mill E, looking at you for a moment. Takes a moment when she's looking at your emblem. He looks back toward the Civ E. The Civ E looks at him, he looks at you for a moment. He gives a nod. The Mill E looks at you. Move along.
All right.
Finally, Remy.
And maybe just walking up, just like, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
The melee looks at you for a moment. Looks at the sphere. He takes another sphere out and looks at the other sphere. Then looks at you. Even you, with your passive insight, even though they have a very poker face, stone face, you could even say.
More of their mannerisms.
You have this moment of, I can feel he feels confused about something.
And he probably knows
This
what it
isn't
is,
the
and
bird
he's just
that we know.
mentally preparing himself.
He takes one sphere back into a small pouch. Then he takes a small crystal and presents it in front of you. He opens his hand completely, and you see the crystal start glowing a little bit. You feel this flash of warmth in your body. Also, this slight feeling like... How can I put this? Like you've been penetrated by magic against your will. Not in an extremely painful way, but just the concept of it. You've been scanned thoroughly by this imprint of magic that just bursted out and went through you.
Sir, we need to ask you to go into this room. You'll be required for additional screening. Pulls out rubber glove.
Pulls them all the way to the elbow.
It's a thorough inspection. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. It's part of protocol.
The Millie looks at you for a moment and says, "We're going to have to take a feather. You can volunteer one, or we can take one by force."
You know, Raimi. Because Draken knows / remembers But you know what? Raimi is going to. Luckily, he doesn't have to worry about forcing a smile. But he's going to look for the dingiest, ugliest feather on his person.
So basically, essentially what you're saying is that you're going to reach for your tail feather and then you just go 1 inch lower and take a feather there.
And just never breaking eye contact with it as he just lets the feather drop into their hand.
He takes it, grabs it, pockets it, well, purse it. They don't have pockets. He looks at you for a moment. Your feather will be processed within the day. Move along.
What do those assholes want a feather for?
I don't know, but we should go before we make any more stuff going. Come on.
As Raimi is returning to the rest of the group, just opens his beak, and you all just hear the sounds of metal upon metal.
Well, let's get going.
You okay, bud?
Just like if you hadn't seen so many of them being thrown around by him as a person already, just like that stare could throw daggers. In fact, note to self: magic item that allows you to stare actual daggers.
Can you just do that with Mage Hand?
Can't attack with mage hand.
Yeah.
Oh.
You need some goggles of dagger staring.
Or a cantrip.
Goggles of daggers.
Or a cantrip
staring.
that fires ghostly daggers from your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Or we might just go up one level and make it lasers instead.
Mhm.
Just to. Da-na-na-na-na-na,
And then when you get to when you're able to use level 3 spells, it goes for a disintegration beam. Alright. So, not exactly sure of everything that happened, but you were let through. Well, this time everything felt a little bit more personal. More so for some.
Well, maybe they found like a feather at the train that was attacked.
If they did, I would be very impressed by their investigative team, considering everything those feathers would have had to have gone through
Yeah.
and survived.
Maybe it's just that Kanku are extremely rare and you're new.
Yeah.
So they're suspicious.
Yeah, but what was that about you, Fisher? I mean, I would have expected them to just let you through.
Maybe, I don't know, actually. I mean, I know, maybe our sentient constructs treated differently here than on Losal, or...
So long as they don't cause trouble, I don't see why they should be treated differently. seem to be centered around our emblem.
Yeah, it's. I mean, as far as I know, it means I worked on the trains. I think I was in one of the arbalists, but I'm not entirely sure why that would. Like, it doesn't seem to have been a problem until now.
Well,
I'm not that old.
I feel like there should be more context with this. Is it Remy who's not that old, or Fisher who's not that old? Well, I mean, who's that old, or Remy? I think you understand what I mean.
Raimi is going to point at the emblem.
Oh. Well, it's been a while.
And then shrug.
I'm pretty sure it predates the current wizard. Oh, anyways. No ways to know unless you actually want to go back there and ask them.
I'd rather not.
All right then.
That sounds like asking for trouble unnecessarily.
Yeah.
You have been asked to do additional screening, and then they pull out a screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we're all alive, so I guess it's at least some sort of win.
Yeah.
Now, where is that library? Oh yeah. Northeast part. Bit like mine. Alright, I think I know. I think I remember where it is. Come on. This way.
Alright.
All right. Follow her.
You walk through those streets, and you immediately notice the darker feel in general. Only the main streets are very well lived in and lit up. Still pretty early in the morning, but it's one of the main cities, so there is an additional layer of lighting everywhere, so everything is bright and everyone can see properly. Although for you, it just feels like a little bit brighter, but you can admit, for those who've never seen the sunlight, it probably has an effect. Oh wow, everything is brighter in this. Everything is, the streets are always a bit more gray in the next city.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only the main streets, and it doesn't take long for you to notice that alleys are darker. There are more alleys that are covered, and you easily find yourself walking inside of this small maze of a level that is on a city that is on 3 levels. Was wondering why it felt weird to say a level that is on 3 cities. And then I realized why. A lot of passages go between buildings and are covered in some way. You easily feel the darkness everywhere. It's not hard to walk in front of an alley and look in it, and you can swear you see 2 eyes looking back. Then you realize it's just a lighting implement that is slowly dying off. Felt like something was winking at you, but it's just the light going. Then you walk in front of another alley and you see again this blinking, but it only takes a moment before you realize that you're watching someone getting mugged by 5 or 6 people, and that blinking light is actually a dagger that emits a very, very dull glow. Even more for you, Remy, and also Fisher, because Remy because of personal interest, and Fisher because of our new arcane knowledge. It is probably a slightly magical dagger, but nothing that can compare to what you all have right now. You have good object, and even that reflex of, hey, is that a magical dagger? Then pulling out your own, just drawing slightly your weapon. Oh wow, in that alley, in that darkness, my weapon feels like it's glowing. Never mind. That's a really weak magical object. I don't know what's on it, but that's not a something that helps fighting. It's just for effect.
I mean, you know what? Maybe it's a dagger of mending. You know, just like or like self-sharpening. It never gets dull,
Yeah.
no matter how many
Dagger.
screens you slap.
The dagger of mirror images, so you don't know where you're getting stabbed from.
Feel like it's coming from everywhere.
You also don't know where you're stabbing.
Oh yeah.
It's a real
That's
gamble.
the bad
I don't
part
know why
about
he
it.
keeps using it.
Keeps things interesting.
Oh, I got it. It's like this world's version of Two-Face, you know? Just like life's always fair, flip the coin. Except the coin is the dagger.
If you get an even number, then it's actually the dagger. If you get an odd number on the dice, well, it's actually not a dagger.
It's a rubber chicken.
So
Yeah.
instead of hearing, you hear, bark!
I lean over to everybody else. Do we want to like help with that?
Do we want to draw attention to ourselves?
Not really, but also kind of.
You have this moment of,
Shay?
should we help? You have Sachet that looks at all of you. I mean, it's a bit your thing, but do you want to help this person?
Can I?
Yes, I want to help this
I'll
person.
turn down
Should
the
help
alley.
this person.
As I'm
Okay,
walking
go
forward, what do I see? What's it look like? Scope out the situation.
Well, as you turn down this alley and you start looking at it, you get the feeling that it's someone really took advantage of the fact that it's a dark alley that connects to something else. But they were probably waiting there, waiting for someone to take a chance and try and use that shortcut. And suddenly they found themselves completely surrounded.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get to a little bit into the alley and go. Hey, you guys want to stop it?
I'll be standing by the alleyway opening to make sure that nobody else is watching this alleyway from where I'm standing. If everybody else went into the alleyway.
Actually,
Specifically,
sorry.
Fisher is
Could
the
I
one
take
that-
that back real quick? Could I just walk into the alley and go, halt, and try and look all rigid and Millie-esque?
I had no. If it does look like
Construct,
Fisher is about to be the one to move forward first, Brady is going to minor illusion so that he has the appropriate serial number on his face, not his face,
Thanks,
but
bud.
his plate.
So using a combination of Fisher's toneless voice and Remy's illusory magic, give an impression of Emily. All right.
I'm watching the entryway.
I'd say Fisher,
Make a deception check.
deception, and Remy,
Okay.
I'd say intelligence because you're mimicking. See how well you mimic it.
Do I need to make a perception check?
You can if you want to.
Yeah, I'll make sure that nobody's watching this alleyway. It's not too good.
Yeah. Do I get help from
At 12.
Randy? Technically,
How much did you roll, Remy?
I rolled a 19.
19. Not advantage, but a lower DC. Yeah, so
okay. That's an 8.
8. All right. So you have this moment of where
9 minus 1.
damn. You enter this alley, and Remy managed to make something that's convincing. You know, even a little bit of a lighting effect where the light should appear where the articulations are. But as you walk toward them and try to intimidate them in thinking that you're a Mill E, you unfortunately stub your toe on something and have just this two-step of trying to
Ah, shit. Damn it.
restabilize yourself. You see everyone in that alley turning toward all of you and have this moment of confusion.
Alright, well. Yeah. Guys, knock it off. What are you doing?
Well, that's none of your business. Just move along. Unless you wanna...
Make it my business? Sure, why not? You got a fancy knife there.
I mean,
So, like, doesn't even let him finish the sentence. Just like,
sure,
yeah, no.
why not? He just cuts him off. He's like, "Go ahead."
I don't know about those guys.
I'll go.
That would be intimidating.
You got a fancy knife there, and then I'll pull my greatsword off my back.
Roll for intimidation, please.
It was just like, I like your sword.
Alright, that's a 12.
I'll because you're using your sword, I'll allow you to add your attack modifier to this. I know it's a bit uncommon, but you're using your sword.
What? Like my.
The attack
I
modifier for
was
that
attacking-
weapon, yes.
Okay. With, like, if I was using strength, or like if I was using charisma?
No, if you were as if you were attacking.
If I was normally attacking?
Yes.
Okay, then that's a 23.
Oh,
As
a
you
little
take
better.
out this huge sword, slightly glowing, emitting. So it's the sword made from the tooth.
The tooth of collection, yeah.
So slightly glowing, this icy color, billowing out a little bit of frost as you are in this damp alley. Well, you know, 3, 6. All right, well, there's only one of them sort of. Well, everyone else just stops. No one says a thing, and they just look at you and your sword, and there's not a sound being made. It feels like you can hear the dripping of water from 2 streets away. One of them simply says, well, you know, if you're going to put it this way, if it's that personal, I'm very sorry. Maybe you know this person? Well, in that case, be my guest, you know. We'll see you again, you know.
Look forward to it.
You see him slowly backing away, taking his hands off of his weapons. And then as he's making one step, you see him stop as if he had stepped back into something just as he was entering the shadows.
Is there anything behind him?
You don't see anything, but he stopped as if there was a lion, a bear-sized lion right behind him. I'm guessing this is your pet?
Nah, he's just a good friend.
I see. Mind if I make a few step to the sides?
Sure.
They all
He makes his own decisions, though. I don't.
they all leave very carefully. And you just hear this and you see them all just go and they start walking away rapidly.
Once they've gone, I turn to everybody else. I'm like, that is probably going to bite us in the ass up later.
I'm still
For
standing
sure.
by
Sorry
the,
about that. I didn't really
entryway.
think about it. As soon as they pulled the sword out, I knew, like, yeah, but oh well. I'll look at whoever's, I don't know, lying there, standing there. Why would you cut through an alley? What's wrong with you?
You don't hear a sound. But when you say this, talking to the shadows, make a perception roll for me, please.
If I heard all this,
dirty
I'm
20.
gonna start walking into the alleyway from the entrance.
All right. So you're not completely surprised when you say this. You don't hear an answer, and you have this moment of, oh, and then you feel something fall on your shoulders. It just envelops your shoulders. Two dangly, clot arms on you. That was Cuddles.
Oh, yeah, I know it was Cuddles.
Okay. No, it's because you talked to him. So.
Oh no, he was trying to talk to the person they were mugging.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's there for a moment. Oh, it looked just 20 feet, Figured if I run it, it's the morning. Usually they wait closer to the end of the day.
I guess that's fair. It is pretty early in the morning.
Thank you. Do I owe you anything for this? Still looking at your sword. And for some reason, this puppet that fell on you. Can I also leave? What happened? Hello?
Run down of the town.
Oh, okay. Whoa, what happened?
Did I cut out?
Yeah, completely. Everyone just froze.
Everybody froze.
Uh-oh.
I've even heard beep beep. I don't know, maybe the audience arrived and he was trying to join in? So, what's the last
That
thing
might
you
be
heard?
wishful thinking.
What's the last thing you heard me say?
He was asking to leave,
Yeah, right.
and if there was anything else we could do. And then I wanted to ask him
Okay.
if, or tell him that this is our first time to high sell, and give us the rundown on the city. And it's not a great first impression, seeing someone immediately get mugged in an alley, but is this normal? All that kind of stuff.
Oh, right. Okay. Mind if we don't stay in an alley?
Oh yeah,
Wow,
sure.
this place seems pretty safe. As I walk up. Where else are we gonna go?
I don't know, just out of the alley. You know, where people can actually see us. I've heard those people sometime come back with more people.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right.
I'll put my sword away.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's a really big sword. You have.
Yeah, it's really good at scaring people with really small daggers.
Yeah. It's very
It's good deterrent.
efficient. Do you use it a lot?
Only when necessary. I mean, it's pretty dangerous outside the walls,
Right.
Do you not have one?
Well, like most people, I carry around a dagger, but it's just a normal dagger. It's, um, you know, it's smaller than yours. So it's, you do
It's not
it.
about the size of your dagger, it's how you use it.
Yeah.
The trick is you gotta have a friend that can make it look magical.
Oh,
really scares
so
people.
okay, so it's not actually it's not actually as bad as it looked. It's not billowing smoke and slightly glowing and looked like it was torn out of the mouth of a giant creature. It's just for show. It's an illusion.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Well, the sword is, I mean, it's a functional sword, but it's not quite as cool
Right.
as
Well,
it looks.
he turns around and looks at you again, and yeah, and wasn't there something on your shoulders?
Maybe? I don't know. Kind of felt something, but then it left. I got distracted.
Oh. Right. So, the city.
Yep.
He looks around and he sees a bench and he goes on that bench. And you recognize someone who was struggling very hard to hold back fainting, maybe even vomiting before fainting.
Does he look injured?
Not physically. Emotionally,
Okay.
he might be. Out of the alley, you can easily see that he's human, still very young, probably 17, 18 years old. He's wearing the clothes of what you'd associate with a normal peasant for someone here. Nothing fancy. In many ways, the moment you all step out of the alley, he immediately noticed how different you all look. And compared to him, how Sichet even looks upper class. Because of how neat her clothes are, how all well groomed she is. Compared to him, of course. All right. Let me sit down. Okay. So I'm guessing you're from just not the process or another
We're from
island.
Losal.
Low Sal. Right. I must be from the northern part of the island. I don't recognize your accent. Um, maybe you have descendants, ancestry from Mid Sal. That would explain. All right.
Seems about right.
Yeah, I know. Right. So yeah. Well, it's high sell, and it's the process of high sell. Usually, people try to avoid very dark alleys, especially if you can't see the other side. Especially those that
I can't tell
bend.
that.
It's even a slight curve. If you can't see the other side, you can't be sure that someone's not waiting for you there, or someone simply decided to block it off. People have been known to enter alleys, and if they enter an alley, they can see the other side. The day before, they could simply walk through it, and then this perfectly normal day, they enter, they go near where the end should be, and it no longer connects to another street, and now they know that they're never going to be seen again. Or something else. Depends on how wealthy you are and how well you can. Well, how fast you are at running from time to time, or what you're willing to sacrifice. But usually, if you can see the other side, it's mostly okay. Um,
Maybe stick to the main roads from now on.
yeah, well, I think I think my blood has been curdled quite enough for one day, if you know what I mean.
I don't have blood.
Oh, right, sorry. Well, and he looks at everyone else. Well, if you know what I mean, and what do you have if you don't have blood?
It's a good question. It's kind of like sap, almost.
So something syrupy, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Does it change depending on the type of insides you have? If they used maple, can you use this to make maple syrup?
I haven't dissected a lot of constructs.
Right. No. Sorry. I'm so sorry for asking this question. It's
I mean, what is blood but just maple syrup without the bottom?
they make blood sausages. Who knows? Yeah. No, because it would be very inappropriate for you to it's like asking a surgeon to dissect a family member. It's bound to be more awkward than it has to, I would imagine. Right, how the city is. So you, like I said, mostly avoid streets if you can't see the other end. When there are a lot of people, you'll see more Civ E. There have been a few events lately. More Civ E's. We've even seen a Mari walking in the streets recently. Something about a rogue Civ E attacking the other island.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah, we heard about that. That was
yeah,
everybody was kind of up in arms about it.
no, apparently he killed 36 people and nearly slaughtered everyone in the square. Thankfully, the enforcers were able to force its retreat, but they've increased security a little bit since then.
Mm-hmm.
It's understandable. I thought Heisel was supposed to be the high security one anyway. What's with all the
People getting
buggers?
mugged and stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
or do they not really care about that?
I think it's probably a mixture of both. Why would the wizard care if people kill one another? It's just the denizen thinning out their own numbers. I would imagine from his perspective. I mean, wasn't it why the island chain was made? Throw the people that you don't want in the outside world in there, and who cares if they all kill each other out? It's good riddance, I'm guessing.
Seems about right.
Yeah.
You mentioned a couple recent events.
Well, yeah, there was that. The rogue civvy. There was also a ship that pierced through the mist, the upper reach of the mist. It's actually was not far. Not far from the shore of this island. Very odd. It just went through, and of course, it was immediately intercepted, and a whole lot of people were taken prisoners and evaluated. But
From outside the mist?
yeah, they didn't say a whole lot, but I'm guessing if it's a whole ship, it was probably more prisoners. Guessing
Like
the
a regular
outside
ship,
world
right?
still sends people they don't want here. Probably watching us from outside, taking bets on how long an island is going to last.
Like a medium-sized ship, a big ship.
Well, it depends on the rumors. Some say that it was only maybe a dozen people inside, but some rumors state that it was nearly 60 people inside. They really didn't know what to expect because they were quickly overwhelmed.
Wait, you said the upper reaches of the mist?
Yeah, it entered from rather high up, and it just plunged. Apparently, the people living in it's one of the way stations. They just saw it coming down. They thought it was gonna crash on them, but it didn't. It stopped maybe 1,000 feet above ground and just stayed there. Immediately intercepted by manta rays, and they just attacked. Took everyone in, but rumors say that a few people escaped. They've been hunting for them ever since.
How long ago was this?
I don't know, maybe no more than 2 weeks. Yes, Toby,
What?
actually, if you're wondering,
Yeah,
this
no,
would
I think we should.
coincide roughly with when you arrived.
Yeah.
I think we should be going. Thank you for all the information, though. Unless you guys want to ask him anything else.
Well, you said it sounds like some might have escaped. Does that mean are there like bounties out?
I wouldn't say bounties, but uh, every settlement has been warned that some people that have never been on the island might be walking about, um, trying to fit in, maybe possibly trying to find a way out. Everyone that arrives here always tries to find a way out. And this is how most of the people that actually end up here die. They try to go back through the barrier. They try to reach the spire to plead for their freedom, and never
Everybody
ends.
knows that's not a good idea.
No, it never ends well for them.
And you said that it came in on around the edge of the island?
Yeah.
On the upper fog, yeah.
Huh. Wow. Well, look out for yourself.
Don't go through any more alleyways.
I will. If you don't mind, I'll stay here for a few more minutes.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like my dinner is still trying to come back up through my nose.
I so want to give him a beet juice card, but I'm not going to.
I don't know. Maybe the audience would.
Probably,
Let's see.
I'll just be like, yeah, if you ever need to find me, I pull it out of my sleeve.
What does the card have to say to?
Well, wait, let's keep that.
Okay,
No,
all right,
you
yeah, never mind.
Just,
It says that we come from low cell, or no, mid cell.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it
it says
doesn't
we come
have
from
like.
mid-cell.
Low Sal.
Oh,
Mid
wait,
Sal is the
contact.
one with all the undeads.
Oh yeah, low cell. It says we come from low cell, and we have a beet juice farm. No, it actually says we come from here, but we didn't tell him that, so I'm not gonna hand him the card.
Okay.
uh-huh.
Good. All right. So.
I'll keep heading towards the library.
All right. With this out of the way and everyone out of the alley, the person looks generally shaken, and you recognize someone who had very strong nausea for a moment, sitting there on the bench, looking around, trying to find familiar things around himself, just to settle himself down a little bit. Easily keep on going, and Sichet guides you to where this abandoned part of the process is. Start going through alleys, avoiding those that are completely dark, favoring those that are either just slightly covered, or you can actually see the sky, or what passes as the sky here. To a point where you eventually arrive in front of what looks like a dilapidated building, abandoned, windows broken, the door in front of it seems to be condemned. There's even a sewer that looks like it's overflowing, maybe 20 feet away from the entrance. Even the smell of it feels genuine. This odd mixture of algae and rotting flesh, because you know there are undeads in there sometimes.
Do we notice the whatever like enchantment she was talking about?
Unless you use, well,
Like just being here to just like, can we like notice something
it would be an investigation
affecting
roll.
us?
It would be an investigation roll against the DC of.
Ooh, 24.
24. All right. All right. 24. So your initial reaction to this building is, are you sure there's actually people living in there? It feels like the best we're gonna find there are were rats. But you have this moment of looking at this, and Remy, if you want to make an investigation roll, you can also make one, see if you see any mistakes in the illusion.
That's going to be 17.
17. All right. Oh, Fisher rolled higher. Oh, wow. He's very invested in this. And the moment he arrives, he sort of has this anticipation of, all right, let's see how my studies have given me better insight into magic. Let's see if I can find something. You look carefully at this building, and it looks pretty genuine, but there's this little moment where you look closely at the building, and then you see it, a bird leaving through one of the condemned window, just going through it, and you have your moment of, that's an illusion, and then suddenly, as your mind accept the fact that, oh yeah, this is an illusion. Now that you mention it, the windows looks just a little too close to one another. Feels like walls would be weird inside. And just like many illusion, the moment you become aware of the illusion, your mind sort of adapt and starts seeing things, seeing the see-through elements. And Remy, to your great frustration, you look at this and everything looks very genuine, but you see it in Fisher's eyes. He sees, he understands, he realizes. The entire facade of this, for you, Fisher, becomes obvious. You even can pick up a little bit of a interesting smell in the air that was hidden by the atrocious, horrid smell coming from the overflowing sewer. Someone's baking something inside of there. Actually smells interesting, but it's so faint and nearly completely covered. The illusion is large. You look at this, the building. What you're looking at feels like a building that's no more than 20 feet wide and reaching inside directly to the walls. But now that you know, you look at this and you realize that part of the building are hidden by also illusionary walls. The building is actually closer to 200 feet wide and 5 stories high.
Damn. Well, y'all hungry? Smells like someone's cooking in there.
I could eat.
I'll walk up to the front door and I guess knock probably.
Just want to make sure. Yeah. So, as you walk closer and find yourself in front of this, you sort of, because of your studies in magic, you sort of recognize that this is on the higher end of normal spells. Probably something similar to illusionary terrain. Not quite that spell, but same magnitude. So whoever is inside can at least cast 4th level spells. When you go to the entrance, when you touch the door, you see your hand going through the illusion, and this is when everyone else starts. Well, except Sachet, because of her eyes. And she already knew, so everything for her is... None of this is a surprise for her. The moment you see Fisher's hand going through the illusion, your mind starts accepting the fact that this is an illusion, and you start seeing all of those little details that don't fit. Windows are just slightly too close, and where would the walls be inside of there if there are windows like this all the way? And then suddenly you look at the walls, oh wow, it goes inside the wall. And then you start smelling that little scent. Feels like someone's, not sure, cooking bread? Maybe something cinnamony in there? Cinnamon rolls, maybe? You're hopeful, but, you know, don't know for sure. But you go up, knock on the door, and we're going to take the break right now because I think that at least some of you needs to go pee. Well, usually Jorg says I want to go pee 10 minutes ago, so...
I don't have to pee now, believe it or not.
Oh, come
I
on.
have to.
Okay,
Salty.
good. All right, so...
Rock has a bucket.
Say a bucket?
It is.
Just
Yep.
cut your microphone and that's
How'd
okay.
you know?
Marsh is here. Let's go.
Nah.
See you back in 15 minutes after the break. Go empty your bladder, go take new snacks, and you'll know what's inside in a few moments. See you in 15 minutes. Bye. Hello and welcome back. Look, we lost another player. No.
No.
Oh.
Our numbers are dwindling.
And the worst of it is that I haven't told anyone what's gonna happen next, and they're leaving before. I just hope audience is gonna come back for next episode, and now Fisher. Can you at least confirm that he's flushing right now, or?
No.
I just hear the fan.
Oh, all right. Damn, this does put a.
The Dragon Memoria fans, am I right?
Well, no, because I was about to ask who's going to be the face of the party, but audience usually is the face of the party, and he's not there, and Fisher is not there, so
I'll take over.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Jorg wants to.
You do it.
All right.
Well, maybe George should do it because you know
maybe
they're
Jorg
big
should
on
do it.
animal
Never
sounds.
gets to, yeah.
I am, yeah. I'll try interpreting his animal sounds. Wait, can I actually do that? I guess
with
I
a nature
can't
check?
speak to animals.
With a nature check, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Because I've got the...
All right,
Feature.
Jorg's taking charge.
Alright, let's go meet this guy.
All right, well...
Past Fisher.
Yeah, no, I Let's just say that I'm feeling hesitation at the fact that there's a second player missing, and I keep remembering every time that Fisher sent a private message telling me I'm having bathroom problems.
We can stall. So Raimi, what you eat for breakfast today?
This is before he started to walk towards the
Let's have a flashback.
What is this? An episode of Naruto?
So
Goodness.
that guy talked a lot, didn't he?
Oh, alright, so let's go in. So, fortunately, Fisher, when he was arriving, did show you that there was an illusion by putting his hand through the illusion, allowing all of your mind to suddenly start focusing again and realizing that this was, in fact, very large, probably powerful illusion. If I'm not mistaken, Jorg, you can have illusory terrain or something similar to this. So you'd also recognize the base of. It's probably a spell that feels similar to that. Very powerful illusion spell. You just barely cast it yourself if you wanted to. But with the smell and the visual elements, maybe a higher level even. So whoever is living in there is more powerful than you. Which, granted, isn't all that difficult currently.
Sick burn.
Sick burn.
Well, I was thinking about, so long as a spellcaster hasn't went over level 5 spells, he can find teachers in schools that would be of his level. It's really when you go above level 5, then now you know that it's high level spells, and only teachers and adventurers are going to have this. Or ex-adventurers, So, Fisher knocks on the door, and it resonates inside. There's an echo. It just... There's even this moment where he just knocks gently.
Guess who's here?
Whoa! Just in time! Because we lost Fisher to toilet problems.
Jorg was about to take lead too.
Yeah, I'll still interpret his animal sounds.
That's good. We need that.
All right, so Sam.
Yes.
All right, good. Your microphone is working. I am going.
Your hair looks very regal today.
Thank you.
Well, he knew he was going to talk to someone important.
Like the movie theater?
Like the movie theater.
So, you've learned...
Oh, of course, he gets dressed up for this Cancun.
So, just summarize things you should know. You know that this city is... You're currently in High Sal. Good lord, everyone came back at the same time. You're currently in the process of High Sal. You're right in front of the library where you're going to meet this new friend. You know that security has been greatly improved. For every other detail, I'll let you watch the beginning of the episode so I don't have to repeat everything.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Oh, and we stopped the mugging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Save a person from a mugging.
And figured out that the ship crashed into the fog.
Well,
Oh yeah, the ship that dropped us off.
Crashed into the fog.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
And they got captured. And,
most of
we didn't
them
stay
got
on it.
captured. Some
These
of
are all
them-
rumors that we heard from that guy that we saved.
the guy that
Yeah.
they saved told them a rumor of a ship piercing the veil, roughly
Uh-huh.
at the same time as you, and nearly crashing on the
So what
island.
I'm hearing is if I rescue a ship, a certain black dragonborn female might owe me a favor.
It's true.
So, Fisher realized that where you were right now was a big illusion covering the front of a very large library. You know that the person inside is a Kenku, raised in a zoo. Has a very specific way of talking and has a very bad limp that you should probably not mention, the same way that you should mention around Remy that he can't fly.
Okay.
And you arrive just as Fisher was knocking on the front door of this place, because since he realized it was an illusion, when he knocked through it, it betrayed that it was an illusion to everyone, and you all started to see through this very large illusion, hiding the fact that this library is probably well over 200 feet wide and 5-story high compared to what you were looking at that was maybe 20, 30 feet wide and 2 or 3-story high before. So whoever's inside can cast spells of at least 4th level. Fisher just knocked, and you hear the knock echoing inside. It wasn't a very aggressive knock. I had to knock in your place, Fisher, so I said that you didn't knock aggressively. So it's not supposed to echo this strongly, but it does echo, and it booms inside. You can even hear the reverberation of the echo inside. There's definitely an enchantment put on the door to warn anyone inside that someone is knocking, making sure that anyone anywhere in there can actually hear this that's supposed to be quite gentle, but is not. Suchet looks at all of you and says, well, I guess this is when we'll know how he feels today. When the door opens, I'd say whichever of you wants to be the face of the party should probably step in first.
All right, you're not gonna tell me twice. No. Okay. All right. I
Or
guess.
should Remy going first so he knows there's another Kenku?
She's leaving
I
it
was
up
at
to all of you.
maybe going first, actually.
Let's have Remy going first.
Oh man,
You got this, Remy.
Got this, Remy.
Unless you don't want to.
Although,
Just like Ray just like looking at us, just like, huh, everyone's having so much confidence in me. He's going to step inside first, but he is going to be prepared to dodge.
It takes maybe between 5 or 10 seconds before there is an answer, and slowly you see the door opening. It's a large, double-sided door. It just opens, and you can see in front of you it's a long alley and bookshelves everywhere, and it goes into a very well-lit central area of this entrance. Yay! Another person that doesn't want to die. We had 2 players resubscribing today.
This is gonna be a very nice guy, right?
Absolutely. I mean, Remy's gonna have a surprise, but hey, absolutely. So, Remy enters first and follows this alley that feels like it's going on for maybe 50 feet before it reaches this open area. This very well lit open area. There's a very nice red and golden rug on the floor. Chandeliers hanging from the ceiling.
Of course, the inside was going to be pretty. But,
Alright. So you...
you'll just like call out in a child's voice, "Hello?"
Takes a moment. Maybe 5 seconds. Just enough for you to feel a little anxious about what might answer. You hear in the distance... probably some people are sleeping here, so I shouldn't scream that loud. Something that feels like a chimpanzee screaming.
Screaming in general?
Yeah.
Or does it scream a voice? Okay.
Screaming as if you just showed him a fruit that he probably will like.
I don't know if that's scary or not. Because maybe that guy wants to eat
You know what?
a baby or a child.
You know what? Like, Raimi is going to like, is there perhaps like a nearby table or?
It's an entrance. Yeah, sure. There's a reception desk and probably small tables around it for decoration, lamps. Probably a place where someone a type of coffee table also in front of it. Yep.
Raimi will set down a truffle and like in a woman's voice, "Kids, I have snacks."
There's a moment of silence. 3, 4, 5 seconds go by. Then you start hearing this clunk, clunk, clunk. Feels like something metal just hitting this stone floor, moving forward. You recognize sort of the rhythm of someone who might have a prosthetic leg made of metal. Then in front of you, you see this image emerging from the shadows and stepping into the light. He's still a good 50 feet away from you. You see this Kenku, probably much older than you, to the point where some feathers look a little more out of place, less cared for the way you do it. Which is slightly odd because Kenku do like to keep themselves well groomed, but this one seems to be a bit frazzled in the way that his feathers are around him. He looks at all of you from where he is and has this a brusque moment of lets out a powerful gorilla scream at the entire group. Makes a few steps, shakes his hand, and lets out another powerful scream. Make a nature check, Jordan.
Make a what check?
Nature.
Nature.
Nature. I mean, I kind of getting. Oh, I only got a 10.
Damn.
I'm frazzled by this display.
You're completely surprised by this, and you completely miss out the normal elements of what is he trying to convey. with insight, Remy, you have this impression that, all right, he seems to be affirming some sort of territory. Maybe he's affirming that this is his territory. You're not sure.
Oh, maybe he has the perfect response for this. He just like, you know, he takes the truffle from the reception desk, like walks over, then like, but not too close, but like it gets down as low as he can and presents it, like you would present a gift to a patriarch or matriarch.
All right. So you have this moment of presenting this truffle and putting yourself in a more submissive position, acknowledging the fact that he is in a better position than you right now. He starts moving forward. Probably for Fisher in audience, he's not moving that fast, but you recognize the fact that he has a very severe limp. And the more he walks forward, the more you realize that his right leg has been severed, maybe an inch below the knee. And he's walking on this metal peg leg that has, at the end, sort of a claw that opens. There's probably something magical, because when he moves up, the claw doesn't just fall completely limp. It just slightly recedes, and when he puts his feet back on the ground, it just completely stretches. So there's either very interesting mechanics or magic allowing him to move carefully like this. But taking this into consideration, you sort of realize that, all right, it's his equivalent of running toward the entire group. He's moved forward and starts running, and he arrives in front of all of you and stops, and the floor makes it so that he slides just slightly in front of everyone. And since Remy is the first one in front, he looks at you, looks at the truffle, cocks his head, cocks his head again. You hear this long With one hand he grabs the truffle, and with the other hand he extends it toward you, as if to shake your hand. Do you meet his hand midway, or do you wait?
He waits for him.
All right.
Because that is the most respectful.
Well, his hand moves closer and closer and closer, and then he makes a step forward, and suddenly his hand drops below your waist, and he moves forward to grab what's between your leg.
Not tap.
Do you let him? You notice this just in time to make a dexterity saving throw if you don't want this to happen.
So it's not just Remy. No.
Jorg, make a nature check, please.
I think I know what's happening.
Yeah. I've mentioned baboons enough.
This one was an 11.
Damn.
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
just completely surprised
George
by
just
this.
like cannot understand a non-beast doing these things.
So, Remy, you realize quick enough to be allowed a dexterity saving throw if you don't want him to grab your junk. Do you let it happen, or do you take that saving throw?
What's happening, Jorg?
He will let it happen.
All right. he literally grabs it, but he doesn't squeeze. He just closes his hand and looks at you, with his head held high, truffle in one hand. And has that that really sounds like a baboon. Next to you, audience, you have Suchet that says, I hope he knows how baboons work. Because that's going to be awkward otherwise.
I mean, I don't know how baboons work, so I'm just seeing that Remy's enjoying this free handy.
Just like Jorg, what the hell is going on?
I mean, I assume it's something baboons do.
Now, I do have to ask,
Yes?
like, would baboons have been on the list?
Not if you've only been to the island where you were before. It's too far south.
All right, that's information I wouldn't know, so
Alright.
I figured I'd ask.
One thing you do know about predators and alpha behavior is that if it's meant to subjugate you, it's going to be aggressive in some way. He's going to strike you. He's going to put you down. Behavior of creatures that the intent is to simply show status, show who's boss, show is non-lethal. So because he has your genitals in his hand but is not squeezing, you would know, because of what you know about creatures, that this is not meant to subjugate you, but probably meant to create some sort
You
of...
could say it. Assert dominance.
Yeah. But you don't
Yeah, it's like
know
a-
what the answer is to that.
Remy, roll on your back and show your belly.
Yes.
I think this is a private moment. I'm gonna start looking off to the left. Kind of like,
Yeah, she starts feeling awkward, just looking around. Oh.
a nice building. Nice foundation. That well looks a little off, but
So should we assert dominance back, or should we let
I
Remy be
don't think
submissive?
so. I think if we want to be on his good side, we gotta let him be the dominant.
I think Remy has this one. I'm not gonna try to do anything about this.
What's
What
the
do-
equal status sign?
How about you look in your notes again, Jorg, and see if there's something we should do?
Well,
Yeah, like,
see-
what's the
Should I try to nature again?
Oh,
I don't think there's any nature.
That's
Can I
DC
try
is
to
going
assist
to
him?
increase significantly if you want to try this again.
Let me assist him. I've read books. Not specifically on baboons.
Well, while they're going through their through their
14.
animal atlas,
So no, Jorg, your mind is a blank.
I'm just
it's,
like-
you know, I don't know primate all that well.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one except for maybe in captivity.
I don't know anything about primates, but prison rules, I think Remy's his bitch now, but I'm not. That's what I know.
Sachet just leans toward you and says, well, he's just affirming that he recognizes Remy as being the alpha male of the group and expressing the fact that you're on his territory now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Remy needs to recognize that he's the alpha of this place, and Remy is only an alpha. in his
Should we bow?
in his
Get on our knees or
territory.
something?
Again, I'm going with the roll on your back and show your tummy. That's all I know.
And like, I think Raimi would like the simplest way to convey that would be to like still original making eye contact, but then like closing, bowing head, and then reaffirming eye contact.
Don't show your teeth. I know not to do that.
Yeah, that
Kenku don't have teeth. That's okay. Kenku don't
trigger
have
knife.
teeth.
Don't trigger knife.
I know.
don't smile. Stop smiling.
Well, he looks at you for a moment. All right, you can sit during your break. That's how he answers.
He speaks.
Takes a truffle and looks at it.
Jorg has to sit down now.
Sounds like human food. It's better than monkey food. I think the wolves like this food. Ah.
For your reference, it is gold flavored.
Okay, okay.
I was gonna say that was a platinum piece, right?
Yeah, we need him in our.
Mister, are we giving him... And he does raise his hand when he says this, so he lets go of your of your genitals and he raises his hand. Mister, is it good food that we're giving the animals? Huh? He seems to be waiting for something.
Yes?
Ah. All right, you can sit during your break. Follow the guide now. And he turns around.
I guess we follow.
Yeah.
Start
Raimi's just
following.
glad it's safe to move again.
Hey, Kitten XL, just follow the story. Yay! Hello.
Ooh.
All right, so he turns around and he walks away, still eating the remaining bits of the truffle, limping toward what looks like a very comfortable chair. You hear, "Well, hurry up. I'd like to close the shop." And he keeps walking. What did you all do?
I guess hurry up.
Raimi would have started following
Yeah.
the first time he
Okay.
asked.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That one felt
start
obvious.
following.
Who's the last one of the line?
Jorg.
Jorg. He
Jorg is just like the most confused. So
takes a moment, turns around,
prepared
he
for
looks at
this.
you, Jorg, and he says, "If you forget to close the wolves' enclosure again, I'm gonna make sure that you..." And turns around and goes away.
I'll close every door we pass. I'm closing.
I'll be like, George, you don't get to sit during your break. That's a tough one, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, does that mean relax?
That's a
I don't
Kenku,
know
that's
why.
how they talk. You have to read between the lines.
Hmm. So at least he's aware.
you know, Raimi is starting to wonder if, like, you know, maybe Jorg isn't insensitive. Maybe he's just dumb.
Finally.
Finally, someone gets me.
So You close the door, and when you close the door, you can feel the magical energy near the door just reasserting itself, and the illusion outside probably reclosing itself. You see a flash of magical energy going through the sealing the door, essentially. And then you hear everyone walking in these long hall, going toward this very lit up place in the center. Looks at all of you and... So, what can I do for you, little puppy? That's what he says.
I don't know how to explain this, guys.
Remy is going to respond with what Sachet said much earlier. You should probably mention that you want to do something about the wizard.
He growls. You're not sure what that animal is. Doesn't feel like an aggressive growl. Other than that, it's just a very guttural growl.
Jory, you know that one?
George, we're testing you now. Come on, you
Magic
gotta get with
check.
it.
Do I know that one? With a 17?
17. It sounds slightly familiar. Probably don't know the exact variety of, but it sounds like an animal that would probably be the size of an armadillo, but probably have a very large chest. So probably something in the cusp of come on in. Give me what you have to give me. Tell me more.
He's interested.
Nice.
So, I can't speak that well. Let audience do it.
I'm letting Remy lead.
You're gonna have Remy explain the whole thing?
Yeah. He's been shown as our alpha male of the group. He should be leading the conversation.
All right.
So you'll have to give me a bit of flexibility for like exact wording here.
Okay.
No, we want to record.
We want it perfectly, like a King Fu would say it, okay?
But okay, I don't have to do that straight away. It's
Okay.
like he'll say like in a gruffer voice. All right, men, let's clear out.
Daddy,
And
where are
points
they
to
taking?
himself, points to him, points to Sachet.
All right. His answer is, Daddy, where are they taking the birds? Cocks his head once, looking at you.
Repeats in Sachet's voice, or responds in Sachet's voice. The wizard's tower.
So, what exactly is it you want me to do? I don't want to scoop up the bird shit again.
so fascinating.
Trying to remember if I can remember like specifically what if I can get the specific wording that somebody did, but it has been a hot second since we
Okay.
last appropriately discussed the plan out loud in character.
All right.
Hence why I asked that, like, Jeremy. I guess it would be an audience's voice. So we need somebody to. Oh, I guess like. So we need somebody in mid-cell too. And he's going to, like, immediately afterward, like, open his beak, like, make the sounds of a train moving. And maybe to emphasize it a bit, it's a ticket, please.
So you mean someone in high cell?
Oh, pardon, high cell.
Good. Just want to be sure.
We are in mid cell, but we need high cell.
No, you are
We are
currently
in high cell.
You're currently in
We
high
need
cell.
him to be in high
I know
cell,
where I am, I swear.
and then we're going to mid cell.
You need someone at the station in high cell because you are going to go to mid cell.
Yeah, we have somebody in low cell.
All right.
Like, we need somebody in high cell, and we are going directly to mid cell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crosses his arm. He very much has the demeanor of a baboon thinking, just looking at you. Then he looks at you all and says, "Alright, I think I like the job, but what's the pay? I'm not gonna clean up after dumb animals for free, you know?"
What does he want?
You just called us dumb.
He's quoting things he's heard while working at a zoo.
What does,
All right, who let the tiger out?
He looks at you for a moment. He looks away. You've seen animals do this when they sort of want to show the fact that you're losing their interest.
Kids, I brought snacks.
Looks at you and he just looks intently at an invisible point right in front of him. It very much feels like when Jorg is showing a treat to his own little dog and he's just going... He's waiting for more. He wants more information.
Uh, yeah, just like going to like like first pull out an identical truffle, and then another one. I literally just Scooby-Dooed this guy. Would you do it for 2 Scooby snacks?
He looks at you for a moment. Well, that's very interesting. It's a very pleasant animal, but can they do more? There's very much the voice of a 12-year-old that you can easily see in your face, watching an animal do a very amazing trick and being nearly blasé about it. And, well, you know, I've seen more interesting. Sort of that kind of attitude of a 12-year-old.
I can do infinite good alcohol if he likes alcohol. I don't know. If
Or
he
he is going to do one more trick. As he's going to reach into his coat for a moment, reaching for what you think it is. And he's going to put a platinum coin inside of it.
Put a what? He sneezed at the same time. I didn't hear.
Finally.
Like reach into his coat, like opening inside of his coat, like a familiar box, putting a platinum coin in it.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Just like waits for a moment. Ding. And he pulls out the platinum truffle.
Look, Daddy, the pretty stones. He puts his hand forward.
Like Rami is going to say, "Careful, laddie." As he puts it into his hand.
He looks at it. He smells it. Looks at it with one eye. Looks at you with both eyes. Looks at the entire group. Licks it. Oh. Feels very much like a baboon being excited about something. Closes his hand on it. All right, I'll give you 1 wool for 2 of your birds. And he opens his hand again.
Yeah, there's does an identical thing, just like slips a coin in there, ding, and produces another.
He puts one on a table right next to him, and the other one, he takes a container from his belt and he puts it inside of the container and closes the container. He looks at you and says, "It's like magic." He puts it back inside of his pouch, and he takes the other one and takes just a nibble of it.
He's given this Panko a very dangerous weapon.
All right. That's a very interesting machine you got there, and it skins animals alive. Just gonna reproduce it, patent it, and... well, I'm just gonna keep it for myself. Alright, alright. I'm gonna clean those cages again. Damn. Bad. They're bad shit. So, when do you want those animals delivered?
Contact. We need contact.
You say it loud enough for him to hear?
Like whispering to Remy.
Trying to think of like how the best way to communicate that, because we don't really have. Oh wait, no, duh. I literally used it last session. The Actually, I'm trying to remember precisely what I said last session. Damn it. We'll just go with a different one.
Okay.
Just And where do I put the letter to send it?
Well, young lass, you can simply send it to the reception and it's going to get to where you want it. Just make sure that your address is on it. He sees that you're hesitating, so he looks at you for a moment. Well, it was a pleasure.
I guess maybe another way to clarify.
Yeah.
I guess maybe another way to clarify it is that he would vary, because maybe this person would explicitly at least like understand this intention because of how they were phrased. It's like, but he does a literal bird call.
Okay, what does the bird call mean? Because I'm pretty sure you can't reproduce that bird call, so I need more information.
Well, it's just like it doesn't even need to be a specific bird call.
I just need the meaning.
Because essentially, like birds communicate over large distances with bird calls.
Okay.
So it just could be any bird call.
Okay. So bird call to pass information long distance. All right. He take this demeanor that you would associate with a bellboy, saying, "Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you, helping you, from the kindness of my heart." And he opens his hand the same way that a bellboy would open his hand expecting to get a tip. But he looks at you also after that and saying, "So, is there a secret to this?"
Can't Sashay just like write to him in her book?
The thing is that above table in a previous session, she was on the fence about us taking her anywhere outside once we got to the library.
No, I mean,
So
I
we're
think
not
Fisher.
guaranteed to have Sashay with us.
I think Fisher means if she writes it in her book as the ascending spell, he will receive it, and whatever answer he gives, even if it's a bird call, she will be able to understand it because she understands everything she reads.
No, what I'm getting at is that, like,
She might not be with
again,
us.
this is more of an above table thing. Just like I mean, like, because like we have no special way to communicate with him unless we bring Sachet.
Well,
But
she can
Sachet
communicate.
doesn't want to come with us.
She can communicate with Tobiyashi.
Yes.
But how would Tobiyashi communicate to Sachet? Because she needs to communicate with him first.
Doesn't she have your orb?
Nobody has anybody of the orb.
No, actually, one of you gave her your orb, so you can use the
It's
orb
mine.
to talk to her, and she can use her book to talk to Tobiyashi discreetly.
Mm-hmm. So yes, she has my orb.
I forgot that you gave her the orb. It must have been like a side thing.
Yeah, we quickly gave it to her.
I'm pretty sure the orb was given to Sachet.
Yeah,
All right,
I remember that.
All right, then I guess with that information in mind, I will walk back.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, this is more of a situation where it's just like, okay, how do we communicate with you? Like, and because of that whole mess,
Mm-hmm.
like, but since that isn't something that the characters are likely to forget, since it happened only some days ago, I think Raimi instead would say, I'll let you know when dinner's done. And he'll minor illusion Sachet's book.
Oh, yeah. We're giving them that food again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All right, everyone. Well, you can use the facilities while you're in here. There is a inn right next to the entrance door. You can always rent there. And he takes a moment and says, "Don't leave the zoo."
Yes, sir.
So
I'll bow.
Maybe nods. And I guess maybe to affirm alpha status, just turns to the others in his exact same voice. Don't leave the zoo.
I'll bow. Yes.
All right. We give the animal their meal at noon. Come on, get ready. He looks at Sachet for a moment. She says, I think he wants to talk a bit more about this.
Okay.
Interesting.
let's go.
I had honestly never seen two of you talking to one another. A very interesting experience. And she
Definitely.
leaves.
Well, let's set up our rooms, I guess, and then we'll figure out what we're doing next. Oh, I just hope not too many people died on the ship.
Sounds like most of them were taken prisoner, but
I mean, yeah, but they lied about the whole thing with the Civ thing and everything.
yeah. True.
But I thought they were gonna leave. What? Were they waiting for us?
I don't know. No? Maybe it might have been on accident.
I think they had a separate mission. That's what I at least heard from the contacts I have.
Okay.
I don't know what happened with the separate mission though.
Well, well, what a coincidence.
We can
Yeah.
add to the list of things we can do in the Spire, which is rescue, if we have time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It sounds like some escaped.
Oh, some did escape.
Well, that's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still being looked for. So
You know, we got him to help us faster than I thought we were. We do have a week here still.
Do you think
Yes,
they're
but we
gonna
do still have to go
get
find the
information about
train
us,
and like
though?
build it, don't we?
That's on mid-cell, right?
No, but we
Yeah.
need
Yeah, before you leave this island, you at least need to find a maintenance cart so that you don't have to walk all the way to the other island on the on the railroad, or literally steal a locomotive so you don't have to find one in Mid-Sal.
Okay.
So
All
we can
right.
either steal a maintenance cart and then find a train in Mid-Cell, or steal a train
Train and take it all the
and
way.
take it to Mid-Cell.
Oh, and take it to mid-cell, yeah.
And then, use it from Mid-Cell.
From
but
inside,
some of the small trains don't have too much security, right? Coming out of the
I don't know about on this island.
small towns. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we should look into some books, see if we can find some information.
Yeah.
Well,
Hit the books.
Hit what trains are on this island, and they're right. Yeah,
I don't know, maybe.
find
maintenance
one
trains,
that's
where to find
not-
some, how they
not
work.
started.
Yeah.
Maybe there's
Just
like a
for once
dock.
we
Maybe there's like
hijack
a
the train. We should probably try to hijack near our exit point because I assume
Yeah.
we have a lot of security coming after us
Yeah.
once we
Uh,
hijack the train.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's like a train dock, you know?
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of trains there. Yeah, that could be it.
yeah,
We'll figure it out.
yeah. If it looks like the station when you changed island, you know that there is a place where the trains just go, are stored. There's a moving platform to change trains, locomotive. There might be something similar over there. Fisher, from inside of you, you do hear Terranad say, "So how are we certain that he understood he needs to go to the station and make sure that he gives us the okay to move in?" So far, everything I've understood was that he accepted to go to the station for us.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that him asking to speak to Sachet could, maybe he's gonna include that.
And am I the
Kinda.
only one concerned by the fact that when Remy gave him a magical truffle, he said he would learn how to make it again, patent it, and keep this to himself?
Wait, what?
You can't hear
No?
I think this
I know.
island could use more.
Why
trains.
would we be worried about that? Like, I don't care what he does with treats. Good on him. I don't think they're not dangerous.
that.
What are you talking about, Fisher?
The platinum was.
Maybe he's just gonna
sorry,
go
I'm talking
whistling,
to Karen.
whistling off.
I mean, we don't know that the platinum ones are like dangerous, do we?
You know
I mean,
that
And
they
that's
may
why
be.
Raimi is whistling
We were
away.
implied that they were
Fucking away.
dangerous.
It
We
was.
were, yeah.
It was implied
Raimi
that
knows,
it
but-
was implied that the platinum one can be habit forming.
Yeah.
We did hear
He's
that.
making
We were with
drugs.
the guy when Remy bought it.
Oh, yeah. I
Hey, it's his own thing.
Fine.
Yeah.
You might have created the new drug of this island chain.
Yeah. I turned to him. I'm like, we probably should mention it to him that we want him to market it though with beet juice.
Yeah,
your-
you know how hard I wanted to give
Alright,
the guy we saved a beet juice card, but we told him we were from it's from LaSalle.
but audience, marketing beet juice won't help you if you don't actually have any beet juice to sell.
Whoa! Who said we don't have beet juice to sell? Okay.
Yes, but it ties
Do
the
you have
drug.
beet juice
No,
to
no, no.
sell?
But Fisher, you're not seeing the big picture. It ties the drug to beet juice. That when people think of beet juice, they want beet juice in the drug, and it's a connection in the brain, psychological. That they
Yeah, we
desire-
give him.
Yeah, and then they desire beet juice so you can sell more beet juice.
Yeah, so,
You don't
yeah,
have
we
beet
mix
juice
up
to
the-
sell, so that doesn't matter.
But
mix
if
the
we
chocolate
ever
in
do,
with the beet juice, so it's
Oh,
tastes
good
better.
lord.
Yeah.
For legal purposes, let me remind everyone that don't do drugs.
Unless they
Only do
No,
beet
don't
juice.
do drugs.
Don't do
No
drugs.
joke.
Drink beet juice.
For legal purposes.
Unless they've been prescribed to you to satiate a particular medical purpose.
I also like the fact that we basically convinced this guy to do favors for us by selling him crack cocaine. But it's okay.
Essentially.
Yeah, get him hooked,
Raymond
and
just
now
gave him
he won't
some
be able
Scooby
to.
snacks.
Yeah, he essentially took one for himself, and the other one he said he would try and duplicate.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna go insane trying to duplicate it after we leave the island. Like, he's just gonna be trying to make the taste exactly the same and never gonna do it, and that's how
Well,
it's
it's
gonna.
not our problem.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I can still imagine worse things to be addicted to.
Oh no,
But,
no, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I like how original it was. Honestly, I like how original. First of all, this was the most weird negotiation that I've done so far.
Oh, you mean when
Oh,
both
really?
the NPC and the PC can't directly say exactly what they're negotiating over? And coming from two completely different backgrounds and having to meet each other in the middle? You mean that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And second, I'll freely admit that I did not anticipate any of you, trying to pay for this favor with magical food. I did not
Look,
anticipate.
when he seemed to respond to the trouble, it's like, you know what? Let's see how far I can get this box to work. Which, by the way, that is 2 items I bought now from the Crossroads that have been very relevant to the progress of this party.
Absolutely.
Just
So yeah, no.
Oh, look at my blob in the jar.
only for
Speaking of
only for
relevant
at
objects.
best 75, 100 gold tops per item.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Very interesting end of session. All right, so with the group probably not understanding properly when the actual dinner time is, but still knowing that they've been invited for dinner. I guess we could end today's session because I think everyone's starting to be tired. I very much appreciate Sam joining us for the end of the episode. I just wish you'd done more. I feel a little bit bad about letting you join in and not doing much.
No, it's fine. I'm exhausted, so it's okay.
You look exhausted, and you look like you have a cold.
Allergies. Spring allergies are hitting me
right,
really
right.
hard.
I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
I feel it.
Alright.
my
You guys
throat,
can't see because I'm
no.
far enough from my camera, but my eyes are just bright red and just like
Okay.
I think
Nice
Adrian
try,
on.
you're just
I-
stoned.
Don't do drugs. I'm just...
All right. So, with this, I think it's an interesting place where we can end the episode. Yeah, with probably the most unique negotiation I've seen so far. Let's see now. end of the episode, which means this one, and we usually go with the sound of crackling.
Now Remy is gonna assert dominance by grabbing our balls.
I was really.
Remy wasn't raised by baboons. I don't think we would allow that because we know that.
I was really wondering who it was that was going to be the face of the group, because no matter who it was, he was going to be the one getting that. At first, I thought it was going to be audience. Then when you said that you might not make it, I said, okay, it's going to be Fisher, but it's going to have less of an impact. And then, Remy's the one
that'd be
talking.
funny if it was Fisher. He just reached out under there and grabbed nothing.
That would have caused major jealousy issues between Remy and other Kenku if they'd have been audience.
Like like at that point, just like Ravi just would like throw up his hands, like I give up. I don't
I
understand
could have
audience.
just done that the whole time.
All right. So,
Just word forward enough. No.
no, good negotiation. Unconventional, but I like the result. I'm gonna have to think about all of the consequences of that.
Oh.
All right. So, as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope Kitten XL, Kitten. Oh, I was gonna say Kitten XL, but I just noticed that it's X Kitten XL. So, Kitten, it feels like I'm saying Cuddles. I hope that you were inspired with your character. Maybe you should make a Kenku. You're gonna have very interesting episodes. Very interesting play trying to duplicate this. I hope your dungeon master is good at making those things. Alright, so, like I was saying, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. We hope you had a pleasant, whatever part of the day it is when you watch this. And we hope you'll be there next Wednesday or next Friday if you're watching this on the rebroadcast. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, you can support the stream by following us on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. You can support the stream by making a donation. That's very much appreciated, especially right now. Becoming a Patreon, that's also appreciated. Subscribing, also very much appreciated. But if you can't do any of those, there's always something very free that you can do that is always very much appreciated. And that's spreading the word of this channel. Maybe leaving a like or a comment. So, if you can't do any of those, helping the channel, spreading the word, very much appreciated. So, as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Dene.
Goodbye.